Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of It's Your Money. I'm Joanne Morgano and I'm joined by my fabulous co-host, Martin Salzman. As usual, we have another great show for you. Our guest today is Carrie McNally of Goldstone Realty. She's the CEO there, and we're going to hear about her personal journey in starting this fabulous organization.
I've gotten to know Carrie McNally recently, and she's a unique woman and a woman-owned business, let's say. And Carrie's the CEO of Goldstone Realty, and they're not like other realty houses out there. Carrie went on this journey a couple of years ago. She has approximately 115 reps that work for her. She does have a partner who is more out in the field in sales, and Carrie, I believe, would call herself more of the inside person, helping reps. They're very, very unique, and we're going to hear a lot about Carrie. So Carrie, welcome to the set.
Thanks, nice to have you.
I can read all day about you, but we want you to tell us something about yourself as well.
Of course. So I just 2.5 years ago, we opened up Goldstone Realty. We have not only we started with a commercial division, and then we opened a residential company. We have a title company and a school, a real estate school, which is doing nicely.
That's nice.
Great.
And 2.5 years, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You got a lot accomplished in 2.5
thank
years.
you.
And multiple offices, I should say, too, right? One in the Toms
So
River area.
yeah, so we have one in Holmdel is where we started, in the Bellworks building of Holmdel, which is an amazing building. And then we are in the Silverton section of Toms River on Church Road as well.
So how long did it take you to think about this before you started this?
So I've been in real estate for 30 years. And I think, throughout my career, I've had multiple people approach me to open up my own company. And it wasn't the right time. I have 2 children, and I really wanted to be a mom and be there. So my real estate career through that and that journey allowed me to, be very flexible, being an agent, and then I went into management. And from there, I'm glad that I actually went through all of the processes because I really was able to learn everything that I needed to know about, opening the company and what we're doing today.
So it's very, very impressive. Now, Martin said that it's unique. Why don't you tell us some differentiators, or what makes you so unique?
Yeah, so our biggest difference between many of the companies, they'll say that, they do training and other companies do that, but we do a lot of one-on-one coaching. So I don't list and sell. I am there solely for the success of our agents. I work one-on-one with all of them to help them build their businesses, and that ultimately is the reason why we grew so fast.
And I might want to just add that most of the people that I know in the trade that are owner-operators, they tend to be like producers.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of challenging, and I think that's what makes you so unique, because you're able to really help these.
You kind of left the field.
I did. I made that choice during the time that I was actually managing for another company. I was a top producer, and usually, like you said, most of the owner or managers, they're usually the top producers in the office. They're usually the ones that, everybody has their own platform, right? And it's not that it's bad or good, it's just that it's different. And for us, our bigger piece of it is that it just allows us to work with them solely. And so I'm sorry, I kind of just missed myself for a second there, but we're rewinding. So one of my bigger pieces is that when I was producing agent and managing, I would get phone calls, right? And if it was a client, I had to take that phone call. If it was an agent and I'm on the call with a client, I have to give to the public first. And so I was finding myself dividing my time between what was for my agents, and that was at that moment I made the choice. I couldn't continue to wear both hats, and I needed to make the choice either to be a an amazing agent and just do that, or to actually do what I'm doing. So this is where my passion is.
So it's amazing that, we all seem to have these defining moments in our career, and I think Oprah Winfrey, she called it the aha moment. But what have been some of the challenges that you've encountered that you weren't expecting? Or did you expect it all?
As being an agent, or as when I opened the company?
Your company, yes.
I think your biggest challenge is just time management. Creating the companies itself, making sure that all of the pieces run together. Also making sure that you have the right staff. So in the beginning, the staff wasn't exactly where I needed it to be, but when I am just unbelievably blessed for the staff and the passion that they have that are with me. They all see. Sometimes I feel like they can sometimes see me further down the road than I see myself. And they definitely support and help me do all of the things that I'm trying to do. But I think it's just juggling all of the pieces and making sure that they're all set up.
And you opened a lot of companies at the same time, so it wasn't just like one company.
Right.
So I know, Martin, you probably have a question.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you this because, our viewers are going to want to hear from you about real estate in general.
Yeah.
So, of course, many of our viewers are from New Jersey, right? We're more or less the East Coast. But can you talk to us a little bit about what's going on right now in real estate? Supply, demand, things of that sort.
So we definitely had a little bit of a slowdown in like January going into February, which I was, it usually always slows down right around that Christmas, but it usually picks up like the second week of January. We saw it travel a little bit longer. We're definitely back in it. We absolutely, and actually Joanne and I were having this conversation earlier, that it's a little different from where you are, but here, like we're really, Monmouth Ocean County is our heart of what we're doing, and things are popping. I mean, we just had one deal that went 60,000 over asking. We had another one just this weekend that went 45,000, another one that went 24,000. We had 32 people at one open house, another one had 24.
So again, that sort of brings me back to supply demand then.
Yeah.
It seems as though there's still not a lot of supply on the market, yet the demand is high. Otherwise, how are you getting premiums like this,
Yeah.
So the supply has been definitely low for a very long time and has, I think, made a lot of people very frustrated. The interest rates obviously aren't helping, but I think that more so, we've had a lot, especially of the first-time home buyers. More first-time home buyers are more disheartened, not necessarily by the interest rates, but by the supply and demand.
Yeah.
And the cost they have to pay now for a house that might have been $100,000 less a few years ago.
And I
And
think,
just getting beat out.
Yeah, and I think buyers know that there's always times when they can refinance.
Yeah.
When the markets, when interest rates go down.
Yeah, I always say you live with in the house, right? You're gonna pay somebody. Either you're paying the bank or you're paying the homeowner.
Joanne, I know you want to, we have so many things.
I know you have 115 agents that work with you.
Yeah.
Are you still in growth mode? How are you attracting more talent?
So we are in major growth mode.
Okay.
And I think that, one of the questions I think it kind of echoes what you're asking me. Our challenges is making sure that you are scaling as you're growing. And that definitely is a challenge, to make sure that the support is what I'm offering the agents and promising the agents continue to stay, right? So I have the two amazing coaches and I have a social media marketing director. But we're still growing. As far as how do we capture people, I have been in the business for 30 years.
So your name's out there.
So I am. People know who I am, and my agents are unbelievable. Most of them are bringing the people to me, and that. Yeah, I can't say thank you enough for that.
So really, you don't have to do that massive recruiting.
I do.
You do?
Okay. I still do it. That I think is the reason why we've grown so fast. That's just always been me. I am a very hard recruiter. But I do it for the passion, because I know that there are people that are struggling out there. 95% of the agents that I have are coming to me from Brand X because they need something else.
Right.
And so that's what I'm here to help.
Importantly also is retaining them, because there's incentives out there to leave and go elsewhere thinking, oh, the grass is greener somewhere. So how do you keep them? How are you keeping them loyal?
We make it as fun as we possibly can. But I think that the one-on-one coaching is probably the biggest position that I have, because I'm helping them truly build their business, and they see it in real world time. And they know that they're not getting that personal attention that I do offer all of them. They can call me any time of the day. Yeah, I think that that's my biggest position. The harder piece of retention is ultimately the agents that think that they want to be in the business, but when they get down to the nitty gritty of it, it becomes the business is challenging.
Yeah, and there's an attrition rate, I'm sure,
Exactly.
with that.
Yeah.
That's more of the.
So let's talk about game changers for you. Maybe like a tech tool, or was there anything like that that helped you fuel this on?
So I mean, we have all fuel, like the company. You mean?
Yes, that made it a little easier for you to start the business, or any AI tools, or
So we have what's called like KV Core. That's like one of the leaders in contact management.
Okay.
But
maybe
and
not.
we have all of those pieces,
Right.
but I definitely attribute the difference between us and the other company. Everyone needs someone, especially when you're talking about the pressure and the negotiating positions you need to have. You can't just do it on your own. I mean, people say that they can, and that's fantastic. But no matter what, at what level you are in business, you need to have a coach. I have a coach. And you're just only stronger when you have someone with you
I
to
agree
build
with
what
that.
you need to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
How about you, Martin?
Some of these business tools, I don't know if Joanne was referring to it, but they could just be